I know a lot of you are hurting, and I know that this dip is not nice. And I'm not even gonna come here and tell you that I have been trying to warn everyone 3 days ago when I said that the local top is most likely in. I said that there are a lot of indicators that it is happening. You do have August 1st tariff that is happening, breaks moving forward despite Trump's warning, FOMC happening today, structure Bitcoin higher time frame, I'm gonna talk about it in a second, weeks up only, so we didn't really have a normal pullback. And August is usually a negative month for Bitcoin and crypto. Now there is some good news as well, but this is what we're gonna talk about in this show. I'm not usually on here, so I would appreciate if you just smash the like and let your friends know. I'm gonna bring you a very short show explaining to you exactly how I'm playing this dip, how deep this dip can go, and we'll look at it. If you don't know who I am, my name is Fefe. I've been in this space since 2016, and I bring you content every single day in a short and consumable manner. What's happening? Someone's saying cringe thumbnail. It's true. It's true. Unfortunately, it is true. Like, a lot of people have been ridiculing me for this. And I've been, even if you just, you know, sidelined it and stuff like this has been happening, and I called the local top multiple times, and the only reason why I do it is literally just to help you guys. So I do have a channel, it's called the 𝗪𝗔𝗧𝗖𝗛 Club, and I'm on here doing 5-10 minute shows every single day, literally just updating you with the most important. Here's what I said on the 3rd of 3 days ago. Here's what I said. Listen to this. So what I'm thinking is, like, it's building up liquidity, probably gonna liquidate here or even up here, and then show a strong market structure shift to lower low that we've seen here as well, and then a retrace and then continuation down. Now the problem is I don't want to sit here next to my computer and look for this. So I was waiting for a push to the 3.89 whatever-ish region, and I said that we are going to see a lower time frame rejection. And this is exactly what happened. So when I said this on the show 3 days ago on the 𝗪𝗔𝗧𝗖𝗛 Club here at 3.82 trillion, we were up here. We were literally here, 3.82 trillion here. And then I said we're gonna have a push here and then a lower time frame rejection. This is exactly what happened. The challenge is that a lot of people just think up only and they don't consider these very important levels. Let me boil it down for you why this is relevant. And again, I put my money where my mouth is. In my Telegram, it's free, link in the description to all this, to the channel as well, by the way. I took an INJ short. Now I closed yesterday, it's at 92% profit. I do have it here on Blowfin. So again, I put my money where my mouth is. I took 30% profit before this dip happened. So why it is relevant? If I want you to take back, I want to take you back a little bit to these previous levels here. And I want you to see, and you say, oh, but it's a fire higher, the 4 hour and whatnot. What happens is, this is usually how market structures work. So if you look at this, you have a clear downtrend here, right? A clear downtrend. Just retest to an OB, break. Retest to an OB, order block, break. Retest to an order block, break. And so a lot of people confuse this with an actual breakout. If you look at this, this could look like a higher high on the 4 hour chart or a daily chart, and you could be like, okay, I'm gonna start buying. But if you actually understand market structure, you understand that this is just the break below and the retrace to the equilibrium, something called the 50%, and the retrace to the OB, and then a clear rejection. This is exactly what is happening here as well. If you go down into the 4 hour chart, you see that there is a very strong rejection, and this is why I tweeted that the local top is in, because you have a very strong rejection. This is the 4 hour low. This is the low that created this new high here. And this low has been broken. That means we have a new low, a lower low created, and the level that created that lower low is usually retested. This is what we call an order block, and this is usually retested. And this is what you see here. Yes, you have a higher high, but this is nothing else but a retrace to the higher time frame order block, which is unfortunately a bearish order block. Okay, so what can happen next? Multiple things that I want you to look out for. Number one is, I want you to consider that this thing can actually dip further. August is not usually a great month for ETH. It's actually the worst month for ETH, usually in the past 10, 15, whatever years, 10 years. And it is also horrible for Bitcoin. So what I would not be surprised to see is a 50% retrace on the weekly or on the daily chart. We're looking at 3.46 trillion on the total market cap, possibly between 3.6 and 3.5 somewhere here, which would put Bitcoin, let me just look at the Bitcoin chart, which would put Bitcoin down here. If I pull this again, put Bitcoin down here to this OB, and we could see a continuation down to sub 110,000 on Bitcoin, which is, again, for some could be a problem. But I also believe that this is an incredible buying opportunity. We're gonna talk about buying opportunities when they come. I don't think this is one. I want you to consider a couple of things. One of them is that today there is FOMC happening, right? Now there is no rate cut. It's priced in that there is 92% or 97% that there is not going to be a rate cut. So I don't think that JP is going to come in here and start being extremely bullish. Also, I commented on here, and JP, Jerome Powell, who's the Fed chair, has been very vocal about the fact that he's not making change. They are not continuing to cut because they are concerned about the impact of these tariff deals that Trump is making on inflation, and he can see inflation uptick, and if he cuts too early, he ruins all his work that he's been doing. Now, everybody was saying, yeah, but the deals are done and whatnot. And I tweeted here, this news came out yesterday. And I remember I said this here on July 27th, 3 days ago. I said August 1st tariffs. And everybody was saying, oh, but tariff deals are done. And apparently yesterday, Bessent comes out and he said that it may take more tariffs to get China to change. Couple of things. One, Trump already said that there's a China deal. Apparently there is no China deal. Two, they said that there is a 90 days pause on the China and US trade deal or tariff negotiations. Apparently this might not be it. So we're way, I mean, I'm not saying we're far away from the resolution, but it's not as clear as people say that the deal is done and whatnot. And also it's very important to note as well that there are multiple countries that did not make a deal just yet. So you can look at Canada, very important, 35% currently. Mexico, 30%. And then the rest is not that relevant, like South Korea, South Africa, whatever. But you do see that Canada and Mexico is up here. And apparently you see China. Apparently Japan is pulling back from the 500 billion that they committed. They are not. It's not 500 billion as an investment, but only 2% of that is an investment. The rest is loan. So we can see a massive problems in this thing. Now, what I want you to do is a couple of things. One, consider this scenario, okay? Consider this scenario. I look at the total market cap. Again, if you are following the channel, this is the 100x Club. I actually included it down in the description. I want you to go down to the description now, down here, and it's on top. This is literally the best source of information that you can get. I summarize everything in a very consumable way. It's 5 to 10 minute videos every single day, and you can get the update here. This is the video that I actually made. So go and check that out. I will see you on there. But what I want you to consider is that we can see this to be the beginning of a major pullback. If you go onto the 4-hour chart, here is my trajectory for it. Before I even go there, I want to say that today, it's not only FOMC, but we also have the crypto report coming. I'm dropping a video on that on 100x Club, but there is a crypto report coming from Bo Hines and the crypto working group on how they will proceed further with crypto regulation. Now, one, it can be a big flop. You know, it can be that they just come back and they say, oh, you know, the normal things that they said, and there is no budget neutral way to acquire Bitcoin and whatnot. And the other hand is that they actually do figure out a way to acquire Bitcoin on a budget neutral way. And if it works out, Trump loves Bitcoin, so this could be a massive catalyst for another leg up. This is one. Two, there could be a surprise for a surprise cut. Like, I don't know if it's going to happen, but there is a possibility for it. I don't think it is happening. The most important that is going to happen, we're going to do FOMC on the 100x Club as well with the Banter crew. But the most important that you have to pay attention to if JP is going to be dovish or hawkish. Today's announcement with Bessent saying that there could be an additional, you know, tariff for China before they agree, all that stuff. I'm pretty confident that's not going to be very good for Powell, and it's not going to be good for rate cuts. So I don't think that JP is going to be dovish. In fact, I think he's going to be more hawkish than he was. So that's something to look out for. But these two could potentially be a catalyst. But ultimately, here's my game plan, okay? So unfortunately, I'm sorry to pop your bubble, but I do expect us to break this low here, okay? I do expect us to go below 3.71 trillion in the total market cap, and that would be about 3% drop from here, which could be about 6% on most of your altcoins, 6-10%, and I know it's not looking good. Like, if you bought yesterday or the day before, I can't really help, but you can still turn things around. So down here, 3.71 trillion, right? So right below here, possible, very possible. Retrace back to this order block is what I'm actually expecting on a high time frame. Why? Because this is something called the equilibrium. This is what I usually trade. Again, if you know my content, you understand. If not, very briefly, markets always retrace 50%, always to both directions. And on the weekly and the daily lag, this is the 50% retrace at 3.6 trillion. So I do believe that we can see a drop down here. Not necessarily in a straight line, but it's a 5% drop, which could come after like a little bit of retrace, liquidating. Again, the same trajectory as I said, liquidating, coming back to this order block up here, and then just simply rejecting from there and coming all the way down here to the 3.6 trillion, which which is one, the daily equilibrium, which is the 50% level where charts usually retrace, and two, it's also a very, very strong daily order block. So this here, this level created a new high, and then it had a retrace, and then this level created a new high. So you could see that happening. Or again, the other thing that can happen, which I was just saying, is that there is massive, massive, massive good news coming, and then we start reversing here. Here's what I will look for to identify that. One, it's definitely not happening. Here's something that you can take away from this. This is called a liquidity line, okay? Trend line liquidity. A lot of times people say you can trade these trend lines. That's not what you do. Why? Because if you look at this, there is a closed bureau here, right? It's coming from this order block up here. And when you have a trend line, everybody places their stop losses here because they trade trend lines. The market makers, the liquidity providers know this. So what they do is that they liquidate, they go into an order block, and then slam down to all people's stop losses. And that means that when you see a pattern like this, when you have a clear structure, which you have here, you have a high, you have a low, you have a lower high, you have a lower low, and then you have a slow climb down. I usually say elevator down, stairs up. When you see elevator down, stairs up, you always want to be on the elevator. And the elevator is down, therefore I'm expecting another flush down. Now, it can happen, again, based on good news, that we start reversing. For that to happen, I need to see one thing and one thing only, and that is a very strong close above this level, which is the 3.86 trillion mark, okay? If I see a strong level above here, I think it makes a lot of sense, and I do think that we are going to see a reversal. The only thing we need from there, I'm going to update you on the 100 Club anyway, because I can go live whenever I want, so we're going to do that. But the only thing you need to see is that you don't see a rejection here in this 1 hour OB, which caused the massive drop. So if we see a lower time frame, lower low, I think there's going to be a problem. But ultimately, I think what is going to happen is that we're going to come up here to the order block up here at 3.85, reject from there. That's my ultimate plan. But again, the market works in mysterious ways. We can see a close above here, and we should not see a rejection here. If we don't see a rejection, it is a long, and we can see a push through this liquidity, and that is what you have to pay attention to. Now, I'm not usually here on Banter, so I thought I'm gonna be pretty kind for you, and I know a lot of you lost some cash. So what I'm gonna do a giveaway. I do have a partner here on the channel. They're called 𝗫𝗫. You probably know the layer 1 or layer 1.5. Now they have something called 𝗫𝗫 Intense. Now what this does is it's basically a bridge. It's kind of like the bridge. You do have, you know, it's very low fees, instant across all chains. But the best part that I really love about it, and over at the Crypto Live and 100 Club, what I do is I do gifts. So now what I'm gonna do is I have $50 on here. It's a click and claim. You can literally just sign up with your passkey or just connect the wallet, whatever you want to do. Go and check them out. There's a link in the description, by the way. I want to show you this as well. It's truly incredible. Well, I don't know why this is, I don't know what this is. Oh, because I copied it. Okay. Let me just go back here. Let me see if I can find myself being live. Oh, here we go. So you go down here, and you go down here, you go down here, and it's here, 𝗫𝗫 Intense. Okay, go and check them out. It's very, 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 very cool. It's incredible. Very easy sign up, whatever. But I do have a gift here. This $50 gift. And I'm going to post this gift and give it to you. So do you guys want to give away? Should we do this $50 giveaway, or should we do it, or should we not do it, or do people want it? I don't know. I don't see it on the likes. Like, we have 1,000 people watching and only 200 likes. People probably don't need it. We have to get 400 likes for me to do this $50 giveaway. I'm even gonna do another $50 if we get to 400 likes. Yeah, yes, please. Give it. Yes, ruffle it, do it. I guess we should. It's gonna be first come, first serve. I'm just gonna post the link. If we get to 400 likes, I'm gonna post the link, and then you can just click and claim. Someone's saying don't need that. David, please do not click. Please do not click when it comes. I'm doing it. That's it. Of course, do it. Okay, that's it. Should I just? I think I'm just gonna post it in here. So one, I'm just gonna post it in here. First come, first serve. Okay. I posted it in here. The first that clicks on it, yeah, you guys just good. And I also think what I'm gonna do, I think I should do. Let's see how fast it gets claimed. To be honest with you, look at this. Like, let's see how people who come to my shows, they know this. Done. People who come to my show know that they are on 𝗫𝗫 Intense, and they know exactly that they sign up. But I'm gonna be awesome here, and I'm gonna do another one. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do $20. You didn't hit 400, so I'm gonna put it in my back so you don't see the QR code when it happens. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna comment it on one of the 100 Club videos. See this? Topping out, do it. Okay, let's go. Okay, copy link. So I do have a $20 coupon here as well. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna jump onto the 100x club here. Okay? I'm gonna jump onto the 100x club. Where is it? I'm gonna jump onto the 100x club here. And I'm gonna post it under one of the videos. Fam, so the local top is in. This is what I tweeted. So you can only see it. The local top. Gotta subscribe. It is to the 100x club. Link in the description, on the top of the description. And I'm gonna post it under one of these videos, okay? In the link. And then you will be able to see it after the show. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm not gonna keep any more much of your time. I think the update is clear. I think this is what we're gonna do. We are going to do FOMC today over at the 100x Club with the Benta crew, so come and join us. I think we're gonna get Ran and Deal gonna join me for the FOMC. And yeah, so I say need more than 50 to recover our losses. I'm sorry to hear. All right, guys, thank you so much. So I'm saying Sheldon bullish, but Fefe bearish. These guys flip flop. I don't flip flop, brother. I don't flip flop. You can just look at my X. I don't flip flop. 3 days ago I told you there's a dip coming. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate you. Make sure to check out this video. This is going to be one of the videos on 100x Club. This is going to be one of the videos on 24/7 crypto, where I'm always live every single day. You can click here to subscribe and make sure to check out that little near intense link. I'm actually gonna post it in 30 minutes so people who rewatch still have a chance. So guys, thanks for watching. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.